5:06 on all of WHOW's many platforms. You'll still hear all of our commodity analysts and weather professionals each afternoon, but at a brand new time. And you'll still hear the weekly wrap-up of the commodity markets right here on WHOW when Commodity Week airs Saturdays at 8:30 a.m. Remember the time change for the daily closing market report on WHOW at our new time, 5:06 p.m. weekdays.
7 minutes after 8 o'clock is news time on the WHOW Morning Show. Top of the morning from the newsroom of Regional Radio and DeWittDailyNews.com. I'm Seth Lawrence with this expanded local newscast, streaming to Facebook and YouTube. It's brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. Now is the time to begin preparing for the upcoming hunting seasons that are right around the corner. That's the message from Department of Natural Resources Conservation Police Captain John Williamson on the WHOW Morning Show Friday. Captain Williamson indicates tags are starting to be awarded.
On our deer tags have already started out. So for the fall season, the shotgun tags, the first, second draw, I believe, are over. I know they're over. Third draw, I think, is coming up in August. And then after that, there'll be the over-the-counter draw that you can just purchase the tags in, I believe, October. First draw is the initial draw that everybody puts in. That if you have your best chance of getting the tag that you want for the county you want. So then after all those tags are taken, they take them out and say, okay, here's the tags we still have left. If you didn't, for the second draw, if you didn't get a tag during the first draw, you get a chance to go for the second draw. So then they have a second draw. Third draw is the first one, I believe, where non-residents can be involved for deer tags. And then anybody who's had a tag or one tag issued to them, then they can get in that third draw. Fourth draw is anybody can have whatever they want. They're over the counter and you can purchase tags. There's probably some special hunt areas, things like that fill up quick that you may not get our special draw areas are DNR areas that only allow a certain number of tags. Clinton Lake is one of them. They only give out, I believe, 8 tags for the first shotgun season. I'm going to guess those fill up pretty quick because people who don't have a place to hunt, whatever, they can get a shotgun tag for a state site and then be able to go there. Some of those special hunts are where we might not get your tag, but mostly if you're just getting a county tag, there's very, very rarely would you not get drawn the first draw.
Captain Williamson reminds now is the time to get those hunter safety courses taken care of. He says there's a full list of locations offered at the DNR website if you need to attend in person. Some individuals, though, can just log on and take care of it online.
On our webpage, dnr.illinois.gov, get on there. It'll have all the information about the hunting classes, where they're going to be, if they're still open or not, contacts for our hunting safety instructors. So all that information is there. And it'll get you lined out on where you need to go. Those courses are pretty much offered by all the DNRs around the United States, and all of them are acceptable. So if you went to Iowa and had a DNR or a hunter safety class over there, we accept that. So those are where they're usually put on. I'm sure there is some private entities out there that courses on, and you just have to check. Most of them, I'm going to guess, are accepted as hunter safety courses as long as they meet our time requirements, things like that about what they cover. So most of those are accepted, but most of them are put on by other DNRs. Some of it's changed in the last few years. What it is they have, if you're under a certain age, you do have to attend in person at least for part of the class. If you're like an adult like you and I, you can get online and just take the class online and get certified that way. It's really nice how they've kind of changed it around and made it to where it's a little more available. And if you don't have the time to go to a class, you can at least get it done online and go that route. As far as hunting licenses, things, that's where the hunter safety course comes in. You have to show proof of that to get your license and stuff like that. Now, the only part about what ISP does have that your hunter safety course can't help with is to get your concealed carry. So if you have that, it counts towards some of your hours of training for your concealed carry, which is kind of nice. But DNR uses it for our licensing. If you're certain ages, you need to have it. It used to be if you were born after, I forget what the date is now, you had to have a hunter safety course. Now, anyone getting hunting license needs to have a hunter safety course. Kind of changed rules there and made it to where, basically everybody's going to need it.
Now is also the time to think about checking on those tree stands and giving them a good once-over. Captain Williamson says it's a good time to do that as it will allow deer to bed and move where you want them.
I mean, it just depends on your property, where the deer move, where they bed. and try to figure out where they're going to be. And that's the trick of deer hunting. But this is a good time of year that, guys are working on their food plots, because if they grow it, they can have it. And secondly, we talked about at the break that this is a great time of year to be out there checking your deer stands, making sure they're good to go for the season. Because as we've talked about, that's our biggest fear in the fall is hunting accidents, is falling out of tree stands. So I've got a buddy who has property down south, gets all his buddies together in July is when they check the tree stands, because they get them checked, make sure they're good. Then they've got the months of August, September to kind of not be around them, let the deer get back to their normal patterns. And then October 1, when archery deer hunting starts, they're ready to go.
Today opens the squirrel season. Captain Williamson says September 1st is the opening of the busy hunting season when the dove season opens, and then October 1 is the opening of the archery deer season. Visit dnr.illinois.gov for all things hunting, fishing, and outdoors in Illinois. The warm-up is coming, and it looks like we're not going to be able to avoid it. Ed Shimon at the National Weather Service in Lincoln explains, as we enter August, the Climate Prediction Center has Illinois solidly above normal for temperatures and below normal for precipitation.
Monday starts the warm-up, mid-80s, even though we have chance of showers. And then Tuesday, mid to upper 80s already with a pretty sunny sky there. So by the middle of next week, we're probably going to see 90 or above. And that's going to continue all the way into next weekend, the following weekend, I should say. We've got the Climate Prediction Center's outlook for August, and it's showing above normal, pretty solid across, the central and lower Mississippi River Valley. All of Illinois is in the, it's in the 50th to 60th percentile above normal temperatures. So that's a pretty good signal. See it that high. So pretty good likelihood. That was a higher signal than we had for July at any one point in time. So the Climate Prediction Center is definitely latching on to a pretty good heat dome that's going to be centered like Louisiana, Arkansas, eastern Texas, but then it extends right up through all of Illinois and Indiana into Michigan. So, and then the precipitation side is definitely a below normal signal there. 40 to 50th percentile chances of below normal rainfall amounts through the month of August. So
excessive heat warnings could come into the fold in August as well. In fact, it could come as soon as this week.
Yeah, that's going to come into play, especially if we have like 4 days in a row of like heat advisory levels. Then we can kind of trigger up to that excessive heat warning with multiple days expected like that. So certainly it's going to come into play. I expect at least a heat advisory at some point in that first week of August, if not an excessive heat warning. But, definitely heat advisory alone is enough to really cause some problems for a lot of folks that have any kind of outdoor jobs or something that requires them to be outside for a long period of time on those heat days. And, plan up for being able to hydrate really well as you head into August for any kind of outdoor activities.
While August is showing strong above normal temperature trends, getting into September and October, the trends are still showing above normal temperatures, though not as strong of a signal as here in August. We stream to Facebook and YouTube on the WHOW Morning Show, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton.